What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. Check them out. But first, stay on this one. I think this is a pretty good video. It's not important. However, it raises the questions that a lot of people aren't willing to ask. You know what I mean? So, you read the title. You saw the thumbnail. Let's get into it. Why do celebrities keep thinking that their opinion on the Second Amendment matters? Now, I'm sure some of y'all are thinking in your heads, oh, well, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. We got the First Amendment. Everybody's allowed to, speak their mind on whatever issues they want to. And I get that. I'm not against that by any standards. I'm in no way, shape, or form even advocating to try to take that away from them. Like, not at all. However, here's where I have an issue with it. So I actually had notes where, I had written down exactly, what was said because I know that I was going to forget it. You know what I mean? But I lost a note somewhere in the move. So, here we are. Not too long ago, LeBron James, the basketball player, guys, the basketball player, was asked about his opinion. I believe it was on a recent shooting that happened, something along those lines. And he sat there basically bashing the Second Amendment entirely, just showing his lack of knowledge on its need and what it was originally created for and used for. So he sits here and he doesn't do a great job, by the way, of bashing the Second Amendment just because he's not the most articulate person out there. And you can take of that whatever you want to. You can feel however you like. He's just not the best, or I'm not either. He's not the most well-spoken person in the world. And as I said, I'm not either, but it's a different level with LeBron James. Sorry, guys. Y'all got to understand, I've been up for almost 24 hours now. So let's get that out of the way. It is almost 3:30 a.m. as I'm recording this video. So he sits here, essentially calls our Second Amendment stupid. All right, he says, that we can just go and get these. I can't remember exactly what it was that he said. So remember, guys, I'm paraphrasing. He essentially was stating how it is so stupid the fact that we can just go and get guns. Okay, so this tells me a lot of things just about him as a person. And honestly, whenever I hear anybody who is anti-2A, anti-Second Amendment, anti-gun, however you want to phrase it, whenever I hear anybody who, falls in that category say these words, I just know that they have no idea what consists with obtaining a firearm. So let's put it like this. If you were buying it from a private seller, like, for example, how I got my Taurus G2C, private seller, you can just buy and that's it. They're not a licensed FFL, so they are not required to, to have a background check for you to pass when they sell you that firearm. So that's completely legal, all right? And that's honestly the easiest way you can obtain a firearm is through a private sale. Now, let's make this clear. Obtaining a firearm through a licensed FFL is not difficult by any standards. You know what I mean? Just go in there, fill out the 4473, you pass it. And you know what I mean? Certain states you get to leave with it immediately. Some states you have to wait. You know what I mean? So it's not like getting a firearm through a licensed FFL dealer is difficult even. But when I say when I say getting a firearm through the private seller is easiest, it's just the quickest. You know what I mean? You pay for it, you have the gun, you're good to go. You know what I mean? Now, another thing too is on top of the paperwork, you have to pay for the background check yourself. On top of the waiting periods, which shouldn't be there at all. On top of all of this, right, we're just supposedly able to just get them. That doesn't add up to me, bud. That makes no sense whatsoever. That's like you claiming your house is getting flooded as I am seeing smoke coming out of your house as it's burning down. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Your house is being flooded, but I'm watching your fucking house burn down, bro. So how's your house flooded? I don't know. I'm just saying here. it doesn't make sense. It tells me he has no knowledge on what the actual process of obtaining a firearm is. So, so for LeBron out there, for people like LeBron James who don't know, if you're obtaining a firearm through any method other than a private sale, here's what you have to do. You go to the store, you pay for the gun, you pay for the background check, you fill out the paperwork for the background check. If you pass the background check, you will be the owner of that gun. Now, whether that means you have to wait a few days or not isn't, the matter here. The matter is that is the whole process. It's not a you just go in, pay for it, leave thing. You know what I mean? That's a private seller. All right. And private sellers are not required to report any of their sales. They're not required to have a background check. None of those. They're not licensed FFL dealers. So let's get that out the way. And then the fact that he sits here and claims that, the fact that we can just get these is so stupid. Bro, I'm going to make this abundantly clear. The matter of fact is that you are a basketball player. The fact that you get to speak your opinion on politics while getting paid for it off the NBA's dime, because I hate to break this to you guys, all these little press conferences and shit that, he's getting these questions asked, these are all supposed to be press conferences that aren't relating to politics or relating to basketball. And I'll be the person to say it. I'm not big into basketball. I don't know shit about basketball, to be real with y'all. Someone can sit here and spark up a whole conversation with me about basketball, and the only reason why I'll be able to get through this conversation without looking like a complete fool is because I'll just agree with whatever the person's saying. Oh yeah, man, this is so-and-so the best player ever. Yeah, bro. Man, what? You playing with me, dog? They cold, bro. Quit playing. Like I don't know shit about basketball, y'all. So let's get that out the way. But what I can tell you is that I know damn well ain't shit political about basketball. Why are you acting like why are you acting like you're, a politician? Why are you acting like your opinion on politics truly matters? Now, here's another thing, too. As I said, everybody can make the argument, oh, well, it's his opinion. He's allowed to have his opinion. And you're 100% correct there. 100,000% correct. I'm not trying to take that away from him. However, I do want y'all to remember this when you're hearing his opinion on this. This guy is also rich as fuck. All right. This guy also, I can guarantee you, has armed security. This guy also, when shit hits the fan and a situation happens where it's a matter of life or death, he has enough money to make sure that other people are going to be shooting for him and that other people will take those bullets for him. We don't. None of us have that money. None of us have that capability. You know what I mean? So when you sit here and make arguments against the Second Amendment in the position you were in, you sound, honestly, I hate to say it, you sound delusional. You sound unrealistic. You sound like you've never had to deal with a problem like that. You sound like you've never had to worry about somebody trying to harm you or rob you or kill you or all of these things. It sounds like you've never had to worry about it. All right? Because if you did, a lot of people who truly have had to worry about things like that don't forget about them. They don't, that's ingrained into their brain. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It makes no sense to me when I'm hearing these celebrities who they're surrounded by armed security. They are, they are just fine complaining about the fact that other people who don't have the money to be surrounded by armed security have guns. It makes no sense to me. It really makes no sense. Honestly, I'll be real with you. Hearing celebrities talk about politics as a whole is very irritating because unless you are a celebrity because of your experience in the political field, which we want to sit here and argue, oh, well, you shouldn't be a celebrity for being a politician. I agree. However, that's not the case nowadays. That's not how it is. Let's be real here. One of the biggest celebrities on the planet right now is former President Donald Trump. Everyone knows that. However, because he was a president, is a politician now, guys. So, whatever. Not the point. My whole point is simply just that when I hear these celebrities talk like they are the voice of the people, like they know what happens in the everyday struggle of the everyday American now, I get real irritated. I feel disrespected because they have no idea what it means to have to be a normal person nowadays. A lot of these celebrities, they just watch videos, they read the headlines, and they react. They don't sit there and they do the research. They don't do none of that. What they do is they just react, they speak out, and because of social media, honestly, it's made it a million times worse because they've just felt the need to be as outrageous and as bold as they can be. So, you know what I mean? It leads to a lot of people not holding back their thoughts, not second guessing themselves, thinking, wow, is what I'm saying stupid as fuck or nah? They don't ever sit there and think that, you know? And it's something that we definitely should try to hold them accountable to. We need to flat out look people in the eyes when they're, making statements like, oh, yeah, well, you really don't need a gun. We shouldn't be able to go get guns this easily. How many armed security guards do you have? Oh, I walk around with 5. You're surrounded by guns, protected by guns. Your entire livelihood is based around guns being around you, and yet you think that everybody else shouldn't be able to have guns. What are you planning is my question, because that starts to come off as something very suspicious to me. What are you planning that you don't want anybody else to have guns around you but your people? Now, here's what I'm going to say. I don't give a shit who has a gun around me. I don't. Anybody can be armed around me. I don't give a fuck because I'll be armed too. That's just how life works. You know what I mean? However, to sit here and make the claim that everybody else needs to be disarmed because of your feelings on a matter, when you're protected, you're armed. You know what I mean? You're good. Maybe you're not armed. However, people around you who are paid to protect you and paid to put their life on the line for you are armed. You are just fine. Trust me. It feels stupid that I have to make this argument to people. You know what I mean? It's really irritating to me. And as I said, I get it. People are allowed to have their own opinions. I'm not trying to take that away from them. However, I am trying to say that their opinions probably shouldn't hold as much value to you guys, considering the not condition, but the predicament they're in, the positioning that they're in, compared to the positioning that we are in. You know what I mean? These people, even if they don't have private security at the moment, they can make a phone call and they'll have security. They will. They have the money to do it. We don't have the money to do it, guys. So let's get that out the way. Let's just put that on the table. These celebrities don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about your family. They don't give a shit about none of that. All right. So for them to say that you need to be disarmed, you can tell them to go piss off. That's simply what it is. And anybody who's advocating for disarming Americans simply because of, a tragedy of a mass shooting or anything along those lines, you're part of the problem. Because people like you are who hype up these celebrities who say stupid anti-Second Amendment shit like this into thinking that their opinion is correct. So then they keep going off with this opinion, a very uneducated one, I might add, while thinking that they're completely in the right, so obliviously and so obnoxiously that they will not listen to a word that no one else says. I think that about sums it up as far as, you know what I mean? Tell me if I'm wrong here, guys. Is that not what happens with a majority of celebrities when they're anti-2A? Tell me. I think I'm pretty spot on here. But I think, I can English. I think that about wraps it up for this video. Y'all go ahead and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all. And because you agree with me, celebrities' opinions on the Second Amendment honestly really don't mean shit, considering the fact that they'll be fine. They're surrounded by armed security. You need to worry about you. If you agree with me, go ahead and make sure to check out my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.